Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Lewis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
I'm Jay, the Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
Hey, always a great introduction. Welcome back, fans. We're pleased to see you back. And tonight is going to be no different. Same controversial stuff. Same topics that people will not be expecting anymore. And tonight's topic we're going to get to in just a few moments. Jaden, WWE is trying to pull the trigger on certain people. As you can see, there's a King of the Ring and there's a Queen of the Ring. Xavier Woods is in that King of the Ring tournament, and he's actually been stepping up. Jeff Robinson, what's going on, brother? Long time no see. Yes. Welcome, man. And it's going good. The tournament is going good, you know, and I'm anxious to see what WWE is going to do with him if he wins the King of the Ring. You know? And the Hurt Business is back. The New Day is having a rivalry with them. Oh, man. It's just going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. AEW is still on fire. The stuff that's going on with AEW. Oh, man. Like, AEW keeps pushing that envelope. Like, keep pushing to the limit.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be amazing to see what Finn Balor's in that tournament too. So it's gonna be an interesting tournament to see who's gonna be the winner of that tournament. So Jaden,
yep,
we just spoke about WWE and AEW, right? But what would have happened if WCW was around still, but actually let's make that a different scenario. What if AEW was around when WCW and WWE were going at it?
What if? Excuse me. What if?
What if? So that means the topic for today is AEW versus WWE versus WCW. Guys, if AEW was around when WCW and WWE made, like, exactly, where would have Jericho went?
Good question. Where would he have gone?
That's what I'm saying, because it's endless to know where these superstars would have been. Like, would they have been in a
NWO?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's mind-boggling to see. See, he even said it. Would they have been in NWO? Like,
would there?
It's a good question. You know, you see the factions now at AEW. You see the factions in WWE. You know, he loved this topic already.
So many what ifs. That's true.
Exactly.
So many what ifs.
So many what ifs. You know, what if Ric Flair would have never went to WWE? You know, and became a co-partner with Vince McMahon. You know, what if the NWO was never formed? What if Diesel never left to WCW if AEW was around? You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's a tough decision. You got superstars from yesteryear that are still wrestling to this day and still bringing a pop. For instance, Sting. Sting was a part of WCW. Sting was definitely a part of WCW. But would he ever have left WCW for AEW? That's the question. You know what I mean? Like, Sting was the franchise in WCW.
I agree.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But Jaden, what if Sting would have never became the Crow? And he would have left to AEW. He was loyal to WCW because he never left to the WWE.
He was, but I don't think he would have gotten as big as a pop as he did, because I feel like the Crow is probably his most popular character that everybody really enjoys and everybody knows well. So I feel like Sting, he would probably get a pop, but it wouldn't be as big as a pop as he did when he joined AEW.
So this is an interesting question. Jeff Robinson is asking, are we talking AEW being around in the entire 90s? I would prefer. You going up against the Attitude Era and WCW. But the question is, if AEW was around and red hot the way they are now, would there have been an NWO?
Would
there have been a battle with WWE? Would all these would the Attitude Era even existed if AEW was around?
Right.
That's my question. And see, that's a good point. Without the NWO, there would never been a Crow. So what if there was no NWO and Sting was still Sting? How would that go?
Right.
He was still the fan favorite. He was still the franchise, but he was loyal to WCW. That's what was important. Now, that's another question. If AEW was around, you see that Cody Rhodes is fighting now. But what if he would have jumped to WCW?
What if he would have?
That's an interesting question.
What if
him and his brother would have went to WCW, where his father made his career in WCW? So imagine the dream matches from each company.
Is perfect because like the Attitude.
See, look at that. After the screw job, Brett would have wanted a company like AEW. That's a good point. That's what I'm saying. So you think about it.
Point.
You think about it to see, like, damn, what if these people never went to WCW? What if they went to AEW?
Right.
Or what if these people never went to AEW and went to WCW? You know what I mean? Like, what if Goldberg would have went to AEW?
What if
Imagine Goldberg in AEW.
Like they would have used Goldberg
in his prime.
They would have used him right. If Goldberg wasn't AEW.
No, don't get me wrong. WCW used him right, but they exaggerated the streak.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like AEW would have ended the streak at the proper time.
Of course.
And AEW.
Jeff says no. You can see he doesn't like Goldberg. He doesn't like Goldberg at all. Oh man, and Goldberg's injured. We forgot to tell you that Goldberg's injured. He might not even fight in Crown Jewel against Bobby Lashley. So we don't know how that's gonna go. He needs to retire. He needs to retire.
Too old for that.
I'm sorry, Goldberg. You're cool. You're good. Hall of Famer. Cool.
Exactly. You should stop now.
Stop. That's it. It's
your wrestling days are over.
That's
now,
it.
Goldberg.
Go chill. Go enjoy your retirement, brother.
Right.
Trust me, you're gonna want to. You're at the peak of your career with your kid. Anyway, back to the discussion.
Exactly.
So, Jaden, say for an example that if the NWO did exist.
No, Berg.
Say the NWO did exist. Jesse Oliveri, what's going on, brother? Long time no see. Thank you for joining. You have the NWO, Elite, which is Chris Jericho's group, and DX. Like, wow.
That's a dream match. Right
exactly.
there.
And mind you, we saw one dream match already in AEW. Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega.
That match was great.
That was great. That was a 5-star match.
That was a 5-star match for sure.
But what if we would have seen a match like Kenny Omega and Triple H?
That would be a
show. Would you guys ever want to see a dream match?
That would
something
be a
like that?
show for the books right there. That will go down in history.
Of course.
Oh my god.
This is what I'm saying. What if the game would have went to AEW if AEW was around? Imagine him going up against maybe, I don't know, say Darby Allin. Or any other top superstars, Orange Cassidy. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's a crazy thing to think.
Right, it's a crazy thing to think about.
Yes, I agree with you, Jeff. That is, to me, that was the match of the year.
So far, yes.
Because I have not seen a match like that in WWE.
Not in a while.
No.
Not in a while. I have not seen a match like that in a while.
Look at even Dave said it. He said WCW today with the network to TV would be a true big three. With those three companies,
the invasions that would happen.
Oh my God! Like the stories you can make from this. Like Brian Montavo, ¿cómo está, muchacho? Buenos. For those of you just tuning in, our topic for today is: what if AEW was around with the Attitude Era with WCW and WWE? So there you go. AEW versus WCW versus WWE.
With better people running it, though.
Exactly. Give us your thoughts. Give us your dream matches. Give us your input on the factions. Would the NWO ever had existed if AEW was around? Would Bret Hart have ever gone to WCW if AEW was around? The questions are endless.
Honestly,
you know?
though, like, I feel like, honestly, this is just my opinion. I don't know if anybody else is gonna agree, but I feel like the day that Vince McMahon stops owning WWE and passes that on, I think I could see another return of WCW. I think WCW could return.
That man is not giving up that throne until he is on his dying bed.
Like I said, once he that throne, once he gives up that throne,
continue going until he croaks. God forbid, no time soon.
No time soon. Once he gives that throne up, I'm telling you.
See, okay, so this is a good point right here. With better people running it, though, like Jeff said, and then Brian says the sport of wrestling would have been unstoppable if that was the case. Hell yeah!
That is fact.
Hell yeah! With those three organizations,
especially
in one era,
especially if they were ran correctly.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
oh my god!
There would be no stopping.
It would be unstoppable.
Wrestling,
like you can see wrestling every day. Well, you do it now, but
basically you would see it every. You would see it air on.
Like oh my god! Like you can see an invasion of Stone Cold going after maybe CM Punk kicking his ass.
Not even that. I would have loved to see Stone Cold invade WCW. Oh my god!
Like imagine Elite invading WCW,
or imagine the Shield invading AEW.
Man!
Oh come on!
Oof!
Imagine
it's endless. The thoughts are endless. But
or imagine DX raiding AEW.
So now you got this one with AEW. AEW has a lot of factions.
Agreed.
You have the Dark Order, and you have Elite.
The Shield versus the Four Horsemen.
Oh man, that would have been endless.
Right,
that would have been amazing. That with those four, whew. Dave says if WWE would work with IWGP, Sling Blade, Jay White versus Seth Rollins, Tyler Black is my dream match. Oh man,
that would be a good one.
Listen,
that would be
IWGP is an awesome organization.
Definitely
Japan's greatest. Like they are amazing, and you see it when it comes to that. And oh wait a minute, we got another comment. How about the Shield showing up in all three promotions and triple bombing random wrestlers? Exactly.
That would be so.
That would be so. Oh my god,
overpowered. Man.
It would be.
Nobody would expect it either, especially the commentators. You see all the crowd's reaction.
So look at that, Hangman Page versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, come on, man. Come on. That's what I'm saying.
This is crazy.
It's crazy how it goes. And I think about it as a fan, and I get goosebumps. Because you wish you can see stuff like that. You know what I mean?
This stuff could really happen.
Like, in this era sucks. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. But also my opinion will be, please feel free to share our content all over social media. Bring your friends, your cousins, your family, everybody. Bring them to this topic. This is a topic they're going to want to talk about. AEW versus WCW versus WWE. Give us your thoughts. God darn it. Jaden, give me a dream match you would want to see out of those three organizations.
That is a great question.
I already got one in mind.
You say yours.
No. You say yours first.
I can't.
Come on, Sadabu.
You say yours. I gotta think about mine.
I have to say, the Young Bucks against the Usos in a ladder match for the unification tag team titles.
That's funny. One of my teams was the Young Bucks, but instead of the Young Bucks, I would have liked to seen the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys.
Hey, Louis Cedeno, what's going on, boss?
The Hardy Boys at their primes, though.
Bring your grandma.
Bring your grandma.
It's all about you.
Bring my grandma. I don't know what my grandma's doing right now.
Man, listen, it's. Oh man.
Oh my God. NWO stages of hell. Cage level 3. Oh goodness.
Man. Oh my God.
That match would be deadly.
That's what I'm saying. Look, even right here, the NWO versus the IWGP Bullet Club. Finn Balor, Kenny, all these people. Luke Gallows. Like, oh my God.
That'd be dangerous right
And
there.
this one, the Shield.
The Shield versus Young Bucks in a 3 stages
that would be amazing. That would be amazing. That would be an amazing match. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what they should do now. Use each other. Invade. Do business with it. You know how much money And
that would be wow.
Oh my God! If AEW and WWE were to pair up,
you know how much pop that they would both get. You know
oh my God!
You know how undefeatable that the wrestling industry would be if that was to happen.
Oh my! Like it would be amazing. It would be amazing. Like you can pay the same employees, but just use each other.
WWE is too greedy to work.
They are.
Honestly, they are.
I don't necessarily say WWE per se. I would say Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is too proud to work with any other organization.
Which is sad.
He worked with ECW, demolished it. He tried WCW, demolished it. He doesn't know. And you work with AEW, AEW can actually do something for you. It can boost up your talent because you have young talent in AEW, also some young talent in WWE. So, imagine a match between, let's say, Jungle Boy and a young Rey Mysterio.
Wow. That would be a match right there.
Mm-hmm. It definitely would. It definitely would be a match. And it would be a hell of a match because both men know how to make it in the ring. Now, say for example, if the Legion of Doom went to AEW in that era, with their demeanor, their freaking holy shenanigan, with their stamina and their brolickness, how you think they would fare in AEW?
I feel like they would be some wrecking balls right there in AEW. They wouldn't be stopped. Yeah, that would be. Oh boy, yeah, they would be a human wrecking crew right there. They would not be able to get stopped, but they would fit in perfectly, honestly speaking.
So we got a comment from Brian, which is so true. A wrestling invasion is wanted right now. AEW is on the right step between Impact and IWGP. Tony Khan knows what the fans want, and that's not building superstars. He's letting wrestlers be wrestlers. Exactly.
So he's letting the wrestlers build their own character. Exactly. That's what Vince McMahon needs to do. But Vince McMahon is too damn senile that he doesn't care. He doesn't care what the fans think. He just want to run his business the way he thinks that it's good to run. Son, well, let me not call you son because you're older than me. You could be old enough to be my dad. Listen, Pops. Oh my God.
Vinnie Mac. I love you, brother. I'm a big fan, but it's time to give it up. It's time to let your son-in-law take over. Let Triple H take over. I guarantee you this would go...
That would save WWE. Right now, WWE is not at a good state.
No,
right now.
They're not. They're having trouble
H...
selling Survivor Series tickets. They had to cancel their December event because they making another one. Brian said, bros, LOD and AEW, they would be tag team champions for years.
Exactly. That is
They would raise hell.
Yes.
They would raise hell in AEW.
Now, Dad, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What if we seen the likes of both WCW and AEW? What if we seen somebody like Bruiser Brody in WCW or AEW? How do you think he would fit in?
That's an old schooler right there.
That's an old schooler, but how do you think he would fit in?
I don't think anybody from that era would be able to deal with Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody would beat the shit out of him. I'm sorry, excuse my French, but oh my God, yeah, exactly. Jeff, they would have crushed the Little Hardys for real. Right,
they would have crushed the Hardys, most definitely.
Yeah, era, hell yeah.
Right,
they would have crushed them. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Definitely,
it would have been crazy. But it's crazy that you mentioned that. Wow, I didn't think about that.
I mean, that's an old schooler, but you know.
See, Brody would crush them all in this era. Exactly, Brody
versus John Moxley.
Oh my God! Enough said. Laughing my ass off.
That is enough said, though. Bruiser Brody versus John Moxley.
That would be a brutal.
That would be
brutal.
That might
bloody match.
Bloody.
Oh my God! Like, I would pay to see it. I would have paid to see it for sure, because those two would have literally.
That match would have probably had to be a TVMA match or TV 14 because that match would have been bloody.
That very
like.
I think.
I don't even think that would have been able to air.
Brody was one of a kind. He was one of a kind. He wasn't scared of crap.
He was not scared of
He was
nothing.
bottom line. He did what he needed to do.
He didn't sell for nothing. He
sold what he needed to.
He sold what he needed to.
He sold what he needed to.
Most of the time, he would give you
he did it right.
He would give you the beat.
He did it against Abdullah the Butcher.
Lifetime.
He did. Oh man, what a match, Brian.
Rick Rude
versus CM Punk.
Rick Rude versus CM Punk.
That would be a good match.
Boy.
That would have been a good match between those two. But that's what I'm saying. You think about it. Damn, what if an invasion would have happened? What if WCW would have opened those gates to WWE? What would have happened?
What if WCW invaded AEW? What if we seen an NWO invasion? Oh my God. What if we seen an NWO invasion? Oh, you hear that music drops?
God. Yo, the fans would go nuts.
The fans would go crazy.
Holy cow, they will go nuts.
Oh my goodness, man. This is crazy. Imagine seeing that invasion. That would go down.
I think about it and I'm like, oof, look at this. Look at this comment by Dave. He said, old school tag team in AEW, Doc Williams and Bam Bam Gordy versus AEW Open the Door Gorillas of Death. Oh my God.
Old school tag team.
Why would you give me a match like that?
An NWO invasion would be bananas.
Holy
definitely
shit.
An NWO.
I'm sorry,
invasion.
I'm still caught up with this match this man just said.
NWO versus the Bullet Club.
Wow.
Oh man.
Imagine these matches, man. Like,
this would be crazy.
You think about it and wonder, like, shit, who would win? With the NWO versus the Shield, who would win?
Invasion.
DX versus invaded? Like, oh my God! Like,
right? Oh my God!
I'm stuck because I'm looking at these matches you guys are announcing, and it's like, damn! Like, who would win? CM Punk versus Rick Rude. Rick Rude was, to me, by far one of the greatest heels of all time, one of the greatest talkers of all time. And you got CM Punk that has amazing talent. Hella mic skills. He said, where are the video games? Everybody can start creating characters.
Video games. Now, Dad, I got a crazy one.
All right.
What if there was a double invasion? What if NWO and DX invaded AEW?
Oh, man.
What if that happened? What if there was a double invasion?
That would be
two companies invading one company,
and then they go at it. Then they go at it after they invade.
All three go at it after they invade.
Oof.
Boy,
that would be crazy.
DX and NWO.
Hold on, I gotta read this comment from Brian. Let's see what he says. Imagine different branches of NWO with different leaders invade different promotions. You got a white and black wolf pack and a build from there. Wow. That would be intense. That would be intense.
That would be intense. That would be tight right there.
That would definitely be intense. Like, he says, Jay, that
invasion would destroy the venue. Seriously. That invasion
will go crazy. They will go nuts.
That invasion would destroy the venue.
You know how much people would tune in?
Oh my God.
If they see that shit, I could just see it now. When I was young, me and Brian would have said, yo, Brian, you see that? I would call him, yo, Brian, look at the TV. Yo, we would love that. Yo, and then especially with the returns that we would never see. Holy cow. You should have saw our faces when Goldberg made his debut at WWE. We had a face like, holy shit. Honky Tonk Man and Double J. That would have been a good match. I would definitely have paid to see that match. Both were superb superstars. They were great wrestlers. Honky Tonk Man was awesome. Like, he wrestled great. And Jeff Jarrett, man, he was amazing.
I think fans would be throwing chairs into the ring just like old school ECW days.
Which means I kind of got an idea about that one. Well, since we're talking about it, since Brian mentioned it, ECW, why not throw ECW in the mix? What if the Sandman invaded AEW? Sabu, Rob Van Dam.
I would love to see Sabu.
Taz, but the real Taz, not the old one now. The original Taz invading AEW.
I would love to see Sabu and Jeff Hardy.
The original Dudley Boys. The Dudley family.
Boy, the Dudleys.
The Dudley family. New Jack. The gangsters. Mikey Whipwreck. And it keeps going. Tommy Dreamer. Raven.
I would love to see the... Oh.
It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. Look at that. Moxley is an automatic for ECW.
For ECW.
Look at that. Taz versus Kurt Angle. Yeah, those two fought.
That would have, yeah.
But Kurt Angle in his prime.
In his prime.
That match I would have wanted to see because they made him lose too quick.
I agree.
With Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, man.
CM Punk versus old school Taz in the Chicago street fight. I mean, he means a legit outdoor street fight.
It would have been amazing. Ooh. That would a Chicago street fight.
He legitimately meant like an actual outdoor.
Wow, that would be crazy.
Like outside.
That would be crazy. That match would be. Woof.
That would be one for them.
And look, Dave says, we also represent my favorite promotion, Ring of Honor, the Briscoes versus any ECW tag team. Wow. Ring of Honor is a good organization too. You got the Briscoes are amazing. Like the way they go is like, and then the what's their name? Gorillas of Destiny. They're also an excellent tag team.
Agreed.
So you look at these tag teams, you look at everything that's going on, and you see how it goes, because you think about it. What if Ring of Honor invaded WWE now or AEW now? You know what I mean? Like you think about these things. Like my colleague says, like Brian says, my boy says, an invasion is needed. It's needed now. It needed to be done. That's how you're gonna get the fans into professional wrestling. I'm telling you,
right?
That's really because if you don't do it now, you don't pull the trigger on it now, you're gonna lose all your fans, and wrestling is no longer going to be the same again. It's not. To me, personally, yes, CM Punk came back. Yes, he fought Darby Allin.
That's not strong enough, though.
But he still hasn't shown me he's ready to come back. To actually face someone like a Kenny Omega. You show me.
Amen.
Oh, man. Sting versus The Undertaker, the 3 levels of doom?
Ooh, boy.
Shit.
3 levels of death. Oh my.
Kenny Omega and CM Punk, I would love to see the match. CM Punk versus Andrade, I would love to see the match. Preach, Lou. Like, yo, come on. You got to think about it.
What if we got a Mick Foley at his prime versus John Moxley in an Extreme Rules match?
Holy man. I don't think John Moxley would have been able to handle that.
I think he could.
I don't think so. I disagree.
I think he could.
Oh, tell me why.
I mean, look at that. John Moxley was doing backyard wrestling before that, and it came to the point where like you would see this guy.
Mick Foley threw himself off a house.
Oh, a house. Oh my goodness. All right.
You threw himself off a cage.
All right, he threw himself off a cage.
No, excuse me, more than twice.
That doesn't. You're
stuttering. Stop stuttering.
That's not but that's besides the fact. These guys can still go at it with each other. I feel like John Moxley would be able to handle him. I didn't say he could win. I think he could handle him.
Jeff says the kid is on to something. Moxley versus Cactus Jack, baby. Wow. Okay, that's a good one, Jay. Good. I'm glad you proved your point. That would have been a hell of a match. Like those two would have been going at it, and I'm sure they definitely would have.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that Moxley was gonna necessarily win the match because Mick Foley is a hardcore legend.
No, he's definitely a legend.
Extreme Rules matches and things like that are just his matches.
Maybe John Moxley and Terry Funk.
That wouldn't be a bad
another brutal match.
That would be a very
because Terry Funk is also a hardcore legend.
You know, somebody like Tommy Dreamer versus John Moxley. All these people in ECW would go with John Moxley. That's John Moxley.
Because John Moxley is hardcore. Local. You know, but he proved he could hang. He can hang with the big boys.
He did.
You know, he doing what he needs to do, but. As I said, you need to do an invasion. Definitely. And everybody's saying it. Everybody wants to see it.
I mean, that's what
Dave says the invasion need the promotion's rules. Invasion need the promotion's rules. Ring of Honor invades and only uses pure wrestling rules. Grisham versus Daniel Bryanson. Pure rules. Oh, man. Brian says, all I know is that Mox and Foley, someone is definitely falling from something high.
Facts.
That's true.
Definitely.
It's true, for sure.
No. Another thing. All I know is somebody's either falling from something high or somebody's going to be busted open.
Listen.
Those are the two things that could happen.
It would have been so amazing. So amazing. If CM Punk would have been in AEW now, and an invasion would have happened, the one person I would have want to see his rivalry go with was the late great Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my god, that would be so
that match
amazing.
Between Eddie Guerrero and CM Punk.
That would have possibly been match of the year. I feel like that could have been a contestant for greatest match of all time too.
It would have been amazing.
That could have been a contestant.
It would have been amazing. The match would have been amazing to me, in my opinion. Personally, my opinion. Oh, Darby Allin versus Sabu? Shit. That would have been before and after. Darby before, Sabu after.
Right.
He's always cut up.
Yeah, Sabu is always cut up. Definitely.
Look at Jeff says Eddie and CM Punk would have been the shit, son. And Halton Stevenson, welcome to the show. We haven't had you on here. Thank you for coming. Says, let me explain to you. I went to an AEW Grand Slam in Queens. I want to share my pictures. What I dress up as you go to see it. Dope. Okay. All right, here we go.
Darby versus Spike Dudley.
Oh man, Spike Dudley. That would have been funny. That would have been so funny. Between those two, like it's, that match would have been crazy. Like really, really crazy.
Very crazy.
Like
that match.
I think about it. I think about the invasion, and I'm like,
wow.
Like, what can you do?
That really does need to happen, though. Like, they need to really.
It's never gonna listen. As long as Vince McMahon is around, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. As long as he's around, it's never gonna happen. Because that is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is a one-man show. It's his company. That's how he's gonna run it. You know? So
most definitely.
Okay, before we go, fans, we're gonna give you guys. Oh yes, hey Lou, forgot about MLWS. MLW is another organization that is amazing. They have amazing talent. I personally haven't seen it, but I've seen their superstars, and it's just endless. And New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1.
New Japan is amazing.
Like, oh man, it like wrestling is so amazing. Look at this! Oh my god, the Dudleys versus the Briscoes versus the Usos. Oh man,
I can imagine somebody's falling off of a ladder.
Oh man, forget a ladder. Somebody getting thrown through a table.
Definitely.
Dealing with the Dudley boys?
I love how AEW just came.
NWA. Oh, man. NWA. We forgot about NWA.
We did forget about NWA.
You know, that brings me to another topic. I'm getting some ideas here, man.
Me too. I got an idea.
Juancho, what's going on, brother? You came right at the end, man. We were waiting for you. I don't know, Jay. Do you want to extend it another half hour? What do you think? They're having fun?
I mean, it's up to them. Let's see.
Fans, what do you think? We were about to go off the air, but would you like us to extend this another half hour so we can continue talking about this amazing topic? We'll give you guys a vote.
Sorry, training guys. Video game ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Video game ideas. When you I can really see it now. People creating superstars in WWE.
I would be surprised to see. Okay, so we got one vote, yes.
He said, I got another 20-30. It's okay.
20-30.
All right, so we'll try to go as much as we can over here. All right, so let's continue. Juan says, I'm in. All right, here we go. So, Jaden, we're going to start this next half with a pop. Give me 2 dream single matches in any of these 3 organizations that you can think of off the top of your head.
Well, now that he's in a different organization, I would have liked to see CM Punk versus Shawn Michaels at his prime. I would have liked to see CM Punk against Shawn Michaels, or CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Ooh. Well, they fought already.
CM Punk versus Seth?
Yes.
They fought? Mm-hmm. Okay, that was when he was a part of the Shield. I'm not talking about that. I would have liked to see
Now, that's a good one. Surfer Sting versus Prime Shawn Michaels. Like, wow. That's a match. That's a match right there. Those two would have put on a show. Like, an exhibition. Bret Hart versus Kenny Omega? Oh, man.
That match.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
That would have been good.
Woo.
That would have been a good match.
That would have been a great match.
That definitely would have been a great match. Now, what if New Japan was around?
What if New Japan was
The
around?
Great Muta. Masahiro Chono, Antonio Inoki,
All these great names.
Tatsumi Fujinami.
Goldberg versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey, David, what's going on, man? That's Brian's father. How you doing, man? Goldberg versus Stone Cold. That would have been an amazing match. Both in their prime. Oh man, Hammerstone versus Head of the Table. Oh man, you coming up with some crazy matches now.
Hammerstone versus Head of the Table. Oh boy.
I don't know, man. It's endless with this stuff. Like, okay, for an example, say if Kenny Omega was AEW champion and came to the WWE, invaded WWE, and then won the WWE title, what would happen? How would that work on AEW television?
So you're saying if Kenny
Omega goes to WWE and invades WWE, wins the WWE title and takes it back to AEW, how would that work?
I could see something like that going on. You know, that is really hard to. Wow.
It's a hard question.
See, that's because like I've seen a wrestler do that. I've seen RVD do that with the WWE title. I think that's when
he took it to ECW.
He took it to ECW.
But remember, ECW was part of WWE at the time.
It was. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so these companies are not really together. That is kind of hard to call. I don't know how that would happen. Ric Flair did it.
He said another screw job could have happened.
Another screw job. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, Ric Flair took the belt with him because they screwed him out of some money.
I mean, hey.
You know? Exactly. Not if Vince is alive. Vince is the one that pretty much doesn't want to do anything.
He doesn't want to do anything. He's being too prideful.
Bryan Danielson versus Nick Bockwinkel and the exotic Adrian Street and Dalton Castle. Wow, these are some crazy matches.
These matches are crazy.
Then Vince will be involved. Not good for AEW. Exactly. It's not good for AEW because Vince McMahon doesn't want to do business. They're losing business. You're having trouble selling tickets at the Survivor Series. You're canceling events. You're releasing talent left and right. I don't understand. You got the fans back. You're getting money, but you have to build the talent. Build it.
Or not just build your talent. Let your superstars build their talent. Let them show the fans who they can be. Don't try to make somebody something they're not.
A lot of people say, oh, you know, WWE should go back to the Attitude Era. There will never be another Attitude Era. That will never happen, especially in this era, in this day and age.
In this era,
hell no.
I feel like
there's too many sensitive people out there.
Not even that,
I'm sorry.
though. And I feel like if Triple H was to take over, WWE could have made their own era. And I feel like another problem that WWE...
Exactly. Let them be wrestlers.
And that's what I feel like WWE has a big problem with. They try to control their wrestlers far too much, while in other companies, they let their wrestlers do what they want.
Listen,
they let them be them.
I read a story that I believe, I forgot which female superstar, Lana. It was Lana. Lana dyed her hair blue. Michael Hayes and Vince McMahon got on her case because she dyed her hair blue instead of keeping it blonde. She came back the next day with her hair back to blonde. They said, yeah, that's great. Come on. Because the hair was blonde. And then also her husband got reprimanded for it because he cut his hair, Rusev, and they punished him for it.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Vince McMahon also destroyed ECW. That's what I'm saying. That Vince McMahon is a greedy hog. That's just my opinion.
Put it that way. Yeah, that's what he is. That's really what he is.
You know, and I don't want to deface the man. He's a brilliant promoter.
Well,
was.
He was a brilliant promoter. Now
because it's just like now.
Honestly, at this point, I think he's just doing what he wants to do. He doesn't care about anybody else. He's just trying to. Are you alright?
Yeah.
I'm
just looking behind you.
What's behind me?
The Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling is back.
Oh, Jesus.
So, Jada. How you doing today, sir?
Everybody remember this guy, right?
Yeah, shut up. Don't speak unless spoken to.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm back, fans. I just had to give him a little taste of the encyclopedia of pro wrestling. No, Vince is a cancer of WWE.
It's true though. I'm sorry, but he's not lying.
Listen,
what up, Irvon? That's
Vince
not a lie.
McMahon. Vince McMahon needs to retire.
Listen,
when Triple H took over for one night and the NXT invaded WWE,
look how much pop it got.
They invaded Raw and SmackDown. So come on, man. Come on. Like, you have to build your talent. You got, okay, for an example, you have Damian Priest as the United States champion. That's fine. He's an excellent superstar.
Juan, I gotta disagree with you on that. I gotta disagree with you.
Wait a minute, hold on. He said, I don't think Stephanie or Triple H can do anything. I definitely disagree with that.
I gotta disagree with
because, believe it or not, Triple H has a good mind for wrestling. He lives, breathes,
not
sleep
even that.
wrestling.
Believe it or not, Stephanie McMahon is not necessarily an airhead herself. She knows the business. Of course, Triple H knows it better, but Stephanie McMahon is not all that bad either.
Jeff. That's whew. Ricky Steamboat versus Kurt Angle versus Great Muta versus Kenny Omega versus Shawn Michaels in a Hell in a Cell Armageddon match.
That's match of the year. That's match of the year. That would be match of the year right there.
Look at my head standing up. I got goosebumps hearing that match.
That would be match.
Oh my God.
That would be match of the year.
Oh my God, bro, yo, what you fans don't understand. What you doing is giving us more ideas to come up with even more amazing topics for you guys because we're loving this topic. Oh man,
I meant to add CM Punk. Oh look, CM Punk or Bryan Danielson. How about both?
That would be an 8-man Armageddon match.
Add both of them right there.
Man.
Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. That's.
You know, I wonder what if we would have seen, and yeah, we saw the match already. It was a pretty decent match. But what if we would have saw The Rock against CM Punk in The Rock's prime?
Oh yeah,
like just beginning to be the most electrifying man in sports entertainment today.
CM Punk wouldn't stand a chance. CM Punk would have stand a chance against that Rock. That Rock was, he was about his business. That Rock was the man that could go down fighting Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That greatest rivalry of all time. Well, one of the greatest rivalries of all time.
He could go down fighting Stone Cold, and if anybody can keep up with Stone Cold, then you're another man that should not be trifled with.
Wow. Another dream match. David says The Fiend versus the Demon. Whew. Definitely one.
You know how demonic that match would be?
Jeez.
What if they made it into like a Firefly?
This is okay. Not to cut you off, Jaden. This is a good point. And for many of you that probably know this organization, some of you might not, some of you do. Dave Biddle says Vince is doing to WWE as Vern Gagne did to AEW. The business has changed.
You mean AWA, Dad.
AWA, I'm sorry. AWA. The business had changes and he refuses to change. Exactly. I couldn't have put it better myself. That's perfect. Because that's what he's doing. He does not want to change with the ways. You did it with the Attitude Era. You did it in the 80s. You know what I mean? You had Bob Backlund as champion for years, and then the 80s came, 1984, Hulkamania came, because you changed with the ways. Look what happened. Hulk Hogan wasn't much of a wrestler, but he was a hell of an attraction. Greatest superstar of all time. Greatest entertainer of all time.
My God, greatest superstar.
You know what I mean?
That's debatable.
Well, greatest entertainer. Because for in-ring talent, he doesn't have it.
He just got one leg drop.
Don't get me wrong. He had a hell of a match against the Great Muta in Japan.
Okay, see, that was a good match.
He was able to prove he can battle in the ring. But he's not a Ric Flair. He's not a Shawn Michaels. He beat Shawn Michaels because,
Shawn Michaels was...
he wanted to win.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels is great in the ring. I'm sorry. But change with it. Just like when Hulk Hogan started getting, the praise, and it got boring after a while. Then you finally pulled the trigger, maybe on Ultimate Warrior or Bret Hart. You made these superstars. You know what I'm saying? So do that now. Damian Priest, U.S. champion. But I think I would rather see him as a heel.
I agree.
And more aggressive.
Me too.
Because my man from the Bronx, New York, Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican. Damian Priest is Puerto Rican.
Yep.
But I think they should put a little bit more attitude in him. Let him be himself. Let him be this jerk. You know what I mean? Let him talk Spanish. Like, oh, mama, you know, like stuff like that. Like, do something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
80s Hogan versus 80s Flair versus Prime Michaels.
That would have been a good match. That definitely would have been a good match. It's just, you can't. It's just tough to think, man. It's tough to think.
Hammerstone versus Karrion
Kross in an Iron Man match. That would have been a hell of a match.
That would have been a
5-star match. An instant classic. You know what I mean? Now, Jaden, before we go, I'm going to give you one chance to give me your greatest dream match that you would want to see out of all these three promotions. Fans, same question for you guys. Out of all these three promotions and any other promotions, I should say, what would be your main dream match that you would pay $59.99 on a pay-per-view just to see that match?
Does it have to be past, present, future, or
anything?
Then I'm gonna stick with the match I said earlier: John Moxley versus Mick Foley in an Extreme Rules match.
So that's the dream match.
That's my dream match.
Okay.
I would literally pay and keep my eyes focused. I gotta go with Mick Foley.
Okay,
Mick
why?
Foley's taking it because Mick Foley is just a hardcore legend. You know, at the end, Mick Foley is always the guy on top. I'm not gonna knock John Moxley. He will give him a run for his money. But when it comes to things like that, when it comes to those matches, Mick Foley owns those matches. And Mick Foley is an absolute architect when it comes to these type of Extreme Rules, Hell in a Cell, tables matches, all types of matches like this. So I got my money on Mick Foley. Like I said, John Moxley will give him a run for his money. That match will be brutal.
Listen,
but
okay, so we got a comment from Jeff that this is crazy. We need a War Games match with team from each promotion. AEW, WWE, WCW, ECW, IWGP, Ring of Honor, NWA, and TNA. But you're missing AWA as well. And MLW. So it's a lot of organizations out there. And then he mentions Steamboat versus Kurt Angle versus Kenny Omega. Bret Hart versus 80s Macho Man. Oh, man.
That would be a good one.
Oh, man. It's crazy. My dream match, and I will still say it to this day, that I hate it that we did not get this match. The Undertaker versus Sting. The Crow Sting. That match would have been amazing. Amazing. David says Braun Strowman versus John Moxley.
I could see that. The Fiend.
Wow.
The Fiend versus John Moxley. I can actually see that happening.
Oh,
that would be a good match. The Fiend versus
Holy cow.
John Moxley.
Well, Jaden.
Oh, no. Braun Strowman. Oh, Braun Strowman versus John Moxley. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman.
That match would have been brutal because John Moxley doesn't.
I feel like Braun Strowman will be able to take that, though. I feel like, you know why some of these wrestlers are also so soft nowadays is because they're not used to everything that these wrestlers used to go through. They don't have that many tables matches.
But that's what I'm saying. That back then in the
anymore.
past, you had wrestlers that actually paid their dues. They did what they needed to do. Vince McMahon made people get pay cuts. This business was something that he loved, and then all of a sudden it's just like
he just let it go.
Like, come on,
stop trying.
Like, you don't do that. Like, you continue with it. You don't. Just because a competitor is eliminated doesn't mean you stop giving them what the fans want.
Braun Strowman versus John. That would be a good one.
Match.
That would be a good one. Ooh, and it used to be called an Ambrose Asylum.
Oh, man.
If they had a Moxley Asylum.
It would have been crazy.
That would be good.
It would have been crazy. Like wow. He says Vince has the passion when he purchased WCW. Lost the passion. Exactly.
I agree.
He lost it all.
I agree.
But wrestling fans, our time is up. Thank you, fans, for watching. This was an amazing, amazing topic. We appreciate you guys for joining us. We had fun. I don't know about you. I had fun. Jay?
I had fun.
Oh, man. This topic was endless. Thank you for joining us. Please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Evolution of Pro Wrestling. People feel free to share our channel with everyone. And we also have a TikTok video as well. We do have TikTok. We put a whole bunch of videos up there. Thank you, fans, for joining us. Join us again in another 2 weeks from now, which I believe will be October 29th. Thank you, David, for joining us. We appreciate it. Also, you have October 29th. We're going to come up with another amazing topic. We're going to keep you in the loop. Till then, wrestling fans, from the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And Jay, the Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
Thank you, wrestling fans, for joining us. Have a good night.